Hepiniz tekrar hoş geldiniz. Şimdiki oturumumuz İngilizce olacak. O yüzden Türkçe dinlemek istiyorsanız aşağıdaki menüden dil seçeneğini değiştirmeyi unutmayın. Welcome everyone. In this panel, we will have our director, Ms. Cevher Eryürek, and Women in Games Ambassador Laura Mauterer will talk about how she became ambassador and what she is working for. Now, I'm inviting them to join us. Hello and welcome.
Hello, welcome.
Hiya.
I was already here, so I say welcome to.
It's hiya, the British way.
So, if it's okay, we can start by you introducing yourself. So, Laura, if you want to go first.
Sure thing. Hi, I'm Laura. I'm a senior UI designer at Frontier Developments currently. I've been working in the games industry for quite a while. I think it has been 3-4 years. Time flies when you're having fun, so don't quote me on this one. And yeah, I've been working on mainly RTS titles, so real-time strategy titles, like Total War Warhammer. And yeah, I have been in games for a while. I always played games. That's mainly it.
Yeah, and I think most of the people who's watching this know Ms. Cevher, but like if you want to again introduce yourself.
Okay, and my name is Cevher, and I started my career in organization company, and I'm in 25 years. I organized many congresses, conferences, and exhibitions. And in my social life, I was always gamer. And I started my gaming career with arcade game Frogger, maybe you know it. And I played many MMO games for years, and organizing gaming Istanbul showed me the door of game development, and I took the red pill. I'm still event director of Vardiya, which is organizing Indieway and Gaming Istanbul. But in my free times, I'm also a business developer of an indie team, and that's me.
Okay, so I'm starting with the first question for both of you. Why did you want to be an ambassador? How ambassadors benefit the industry?
Should I go first again?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So I have been an ambassador very recently for Women in Games, but I've previously worked with other initiatives to bring young talent into the industry. And I think I didn't really see why it has to be women in games until very recently. I just feel like any diversity is good diversity. The games industry is very centered around like one specific group of players, and I feel like there's space for more people. I feel like every time I talk to my female friends and they don't play games, I feel sad about that. I kind of like, you're missing out in this amazing world, and I would love them to join. And I think it has all started with a friend of mine who lives literally next to a game studio, and she just didn't apply because she didn't feel like she would be in the right place. And I was like, no, you should definitely apply. And she has recently got a job and works now in the games industry. And I found that so inspiring. And I felt like there should be more of this, and there must be some community to help people like my friend. And yeah, that's how I found Women in Games, and I thought, wow, that's amazing, I want to join. And since then it has been really awesome meeting people who have similar interests. So that would probably be the answer to that.
And Ms. Cevher?
Okay, why? Because I guess it's I also joined recently to Women in Games, and I just thought that because it's really important to be a part of a game development community, that communities inspire you and enhance your work and expand your network. Also, you feel the satisfaction to help other people in the community. So I'm just picking the right communities for me, like Women in Games, to be a part of. And why Women in Games? Because first of all, Turkish Women in Games founder Simay inspired me. She works really hard for the community, and Turkish Women in Games is also a community partner of Indieway. And I believe with these events, we inspire some girls out there and to be a part of gaming industry. And I wanted to reach international women in games to increase this inspiration, because I wanted to show not only successful Turkish women gaming professionals, but also international ones, and make them know that there are many people, many women working in this industry, and artists like Laura here, who worked as a senior UI artist for a very dear game to me, Total War Warhammer 3, and coders, data analysts, developers, HRs, marketing girls, not guys only, and business developers like me. And about how ambassadors benefit the industry. For me, I keep doing the best business I do, which is event organization. And addition to that, I'm inviting successful gaming industry women professionals to inspire young women to get into that business. And every ambassador has his or her own way, but in total, we want women to have confidence in this industry and get equal rights, payments, and visibility.
Yeah, and how did you become an ambassador? What was the process of it? You had to like apply, or?
I think that was probably pretty much the same for both of us. They have the website, and I heard about them from head of HR at the company I was working for, Emma Smith. She's like amazing. She's great. She has been doing so much for women in the gaming industry, and she invited us to these career networking meetings of women in games. And basically through their website, you just go to a form, you just apply, enter your details, they will review it, and they will then tell you if you become an ambassador or not. It's pretty simple, straightforward.
Yeah,
Yes, I
actually,
think
it was really simple. I didn't even, chase anyone asking how will I join, what will I do, or something like that. I just basically go to website and fill the form, and they are really well organized. Actually, I admired most, because I'm the organizer myself, and they sent me a detailed, really long email and saying what will we do, and what will we do next. It was really easy to join, and you don't think what will I do next.
yes. And what are the responsibilities of ambassadors?
Again, I think pretty similar for both of us. I think they just have this general, it's mainly about involving yourself, getting young talent into the industry, helping young women. It doesn't have to be young. I think that is always like a thing. Women who are not in the games industry yet. So you might be still somewhere out there doing this HR for not the games industry, and you want to break into the games industry. So we are there to help them to achieve that goal, and give them tips of what they maybe have to learn, what they maybe have to like change in their practices that they're currently doing, because every industry has a little bit of different quirks. And we're there to basically give insight. We are also, we also support each other on social media, obviously. So yeah, we are brought together by Women in Games here. And what else do? We do so many things. I hand it over. You can go into more details.
Yeah, like Laura said, there mostly you try to encourage young women at schools, college, and university, and consider them to join that gaming industry, and make allies, and make partnerships. For me, I personally do that by running these kinds of events in the name of Women in Games. But mostly creating awareness, we can say, and make more and more people see women in the industry.
And what pushes women to such solidarity in the gaming industry?
Oh, that's a difficult topic. I could ramble on about this forever. I will try to keep it short, though. I think part of it is that we are still kind of invisible in the games industry. Like gaming is seen as this like male thing to do, I guess. And not many girls get the opportunity. I'm very lucky that I wasn't part of that kind of like segregation, but I see lots of parents who do still subconsciously, I don't think they do it on purpose, but still subconsciously segregate gaming for boys and other stuff is for girls. And I think that's one of the first things that I didn't have many female friends growing up who played video games. And I would be very sad, as I said, I would be super sad about that because yes, I had my male friends and I could play Counter-Strike with them. But whenever I told one of my female friends to join, they were just like, no, thank you. I don't want that. And I think part of that is because there's not enough women making games for other women that they would enjoy. And I think that what brings us together is that we all have this passion for the same thing and we want to you always want to have more players playing with you, right? You want to share the fun you have, and I think that's probably the biggest motivator.
Also, I guess it's because of the payment inequality and like all other industries, gaming industry has the same inequality and in many companies. And people still believe some jobs like game development or being a bus driver has a gender. I mean, I don't like actually pushing to talk about, yeah, women can still do that job, blah, blah. But instead of that, I prefer showing that. I mean, gender has nothing to do with the jobs. If you are doing something, I prefer people come there and talk about what they are doing. I mean, for example, for you, I would prefer you to talk about what are you doing in that business to inspire other women instead of talking about, yeah, we are in the same industry, blah, blah. So for me, I joined that solidarity because I get difficulties on finding women speakers. When I mostly asking them to join the event to talk about what they are doing, most of them are, yeah, they are doing great in their business, but they are either too busy with working both at home and at work, or they are too shy to shine. I want more people to join these events as speaker and talk about what they are doing in their professional life and tell us to inspire other people to do those things. So that's, I guess that's why most of the women joining these kinds of communities. There are, yeah, communities are really important for the business we are doing, but mostly it's important to, how you say, it's really important for others to see what you are doing. Mostly that's why they are, I guess they are same way they are joining those communities.
So can you hear me? Okay, sorry. I got a notification that my internet connection is unstable for some reason. So we had here like Turkish women in games many times, and we know like they are making projects for young girls to learn about gaming industry in Turkey. But what can you like give some examples of international projects of international women in games? Are there any?
do you know any exactly international ones? I know many in the UK that are taking part in the UK, and I think the Korea Expo is probably international. I'm not entirely sure.
You can give examples from UK. That would be
Oh,
really
okay.
nice.
Yeah, we have definitely lots of like community events where we would hold workshops for each other. There's lots of meetups as well. The UK has obviously a very buzzing games industry. It's very condensed all in the south, near Brighton and London. And there's lots of meetups in London where we just network, we just talk to each other and how it is in the games industry for us and how we're doing and what we could do better. And yeah, there's lots of also university projects where we would be invited to go to universities and talk to students. So that's definitely also a big part of it.
And Ms. Cevher, have you ever been into the one of the Women in Games project, other than of course like Indieway?
Yeah, actually, they are organizing global events, and lastly, they created a HR event. I joined, and they are inviting companies, and companies are looking for mostly to work with women, so they are inviting more women to join those kinds of works. So they are making HR events. And other than that, they were organizing online events mostly because of the pandemic for almost 1.5 years. So I joined 1 or 2, I guess. They are just like these panels, they are organizing events, but also that HR panels are really important, I believe. And other than that, in Turkey, I didn't hear any, so I wanted to involve them to our event. And that's all I know for now. But that's because we both joined the community very new. So we will join and see more events. We will see what they are doing internationally, of course.
So, Laura, can we get to know you a little bit better? So, can you tell us about your work and how your educational background and how you become a senior UI designer?
Sure. I have, funnily enough, studied fashion first. I think I started when I was 17. I was pretty young. I didn't have my A levels, so I moved from Hungary to Germany to study, and I had to do my A levels back in Hungary while I was already studying fashion. So I was like motivated, I guess is the word here. And yeah, after I finished studying fashion, I just wasn't as motivated anymore. Reality hit, and it just wasn't creative enough, if that makes sense. I really enjoyed drawing and I really enjoyed sewing clothes and making fancy clothes, but it's just, I felt very much in a box. And I decided, you know what, I study again. I want to go into the game. At that point, I just decided straight up, I just don't like this anymore. I want to be in the games industry. And yeah, I studied communication design afterwards. So I have 2 bachelor's degrees. And fashion does still help me a lot. The way of thinking of production and all of these, it was more of a business focused fashion degree. And that really helped me. And then later on, the communication design part was really useful to just get my art skills up and help me to understand what user-centric design is in the first place. A lot of interactive design like websites, and also lots of graphics design. And after that, I applied at Gameforge, I think, was my internship, and I did advertisement art, which is basically those fancy pictures that you see everywhere that look a little bit fancier than it does actually in game. And they sell the game. They just do that really well. They look cool, and you just want to play the game when you see that. And that was really fun. And again, that taught me so much about assets that I can then create in game, right? Because you want to sell the game even when you're in the game. You don't just want to sell it on pretty pictures. And yeah, I think that was the reason why I wanted to get out of advertisement art. I wanted to do animation again. I really enjoy doing animation. And I just, yeah, I think I have this mindset that I just want to do more. I think I have to stop at some point. I'm getting old. But now I'm in UI and I really enjoy that. I can do still my animation. I still work very closely with users and all the other teams that are in the games industry. So I work very closely with game design, UI code, obviously, and it gives so much insight over how a game is made. So UI is such a great way of interacting with so many different teams, and I really love that. I love the cooperation that we have in UI. Yeah, that's how I got into the industry. So I basically came from fashion, advertisement art, straight into UI at Creative Assembly, and since then I'm there, and I actually think I found my place now. I've settled.
Yeah, I actually have like a really similar history for myself. Like I studied culinary arts. I was like working as a chef, and then I was like, no, I'm going to work in game industry. So and now I'm in Copenhagen, continuing my like education in games. So it
Yeah,
was
it's
like
really,
hopping.
really useful.
Exactly. So we have one question from Jansu. She asks, what is your future plans in women in games? What are the future plans for women in games?
Obviously, I'm not I'm representing as an ambassador, but not part of the business side of Women in Games. So I can only kind of speak of what my goals are, I guess. I'm pretty sure that Women in Games just wants to expand, and as far as I know, they just want to pursue the things that we just said earlier, that they want to get more women into games, they want to empower women that are already in games, and they want to create visibility. And for me personally, I just want to inspire women to join the games industry, because I know it's scary. As I said, my friend who literally lives next to a game studio didn't apply, and she's a big gamer. I play Dungeons and Dragons with her every week. She's really dedicated, and she just didn't think that she would fit, and I was like, you're silly. And I want that to happen more often. I want more women to realize that just because you're a woman, and because yeah, maybe your brother used to play video games and you didn't play the same video games, that does not make you less of a gamer and less qualified to join the industry, as long as you're really passionate about games. It doesn't matter what games. I also hear a lot of people say, oh, women only play mobile games. Okay, then join a mobile games studio. There's no problem with that. If that's the game you like, then that's what you do. No one can stop you. And I want to make women feel better about themselves in that sense.
And for you, Cevher, Mr. Cevher?
Sorry. For me, actually, I'll discover actually for women in games, we are planning to keep doing these events, and in the future, we'll see where it goes, and we will try to help more Turkish game developers or Turkish women who think joining the industry and what to do about it, to lead them to the group, and maybe join the Discord group and ask about, because I can help only on the way I know, but there are many people in the community can help them about other parts. Like Laura can help if someone from Turkey thinking about joining in the art industry for game development, she can ask her how can she develop herself, which programs is she using, or where can she get some courses or whatever she wants to do. And for me, for example, I'm doing business development for in the team, and if someone who doesn't know what to do or don't know game development or coding or arts, but wants to get involved in the industry anyway, I can tell she can do marketing or business development, whatever she can do, and we will lead them like that.
We have one more question. I think it's mostly for Ms. Cevher. I'll just interpret it really fast. What are the points that we need to take close attention when we are when we are building a game on the business development side?
Actually, it depends on the game, but I can tell what I do. For that in the development, for that in the team, I'm, for example, leading the team for creating a good website and social media channels, and I'm inviting them to other events and introduce them to investors or publishers. And for example, they had they needed some hardwares, and I made a connection with hardware developers to them, and they donated a laptop for them to develop their games better, and we promoted them in our channels, and we are making business connections actually, and trying to how can I say, sell the game later because we will make a Kickstart program, and I'm working on it. I'm talking with other Kickstarter teams and try to learn how they do it and make connection with them to our developers. And it's it's a business that you can't define actually. You just make networking and get what is best for your team, and this is what I do. But it really depends on the game, because for mobile games it doesn't work like that. You just go to a publisher and it's just numbers, and it's not like making network. Yeah, of course they do need network as well, but they have different needs, I can say.
And Laura, what was the biggest challenge for you in the gaming industry? Like,
Getting
have
in.
you? Yeah, getting.
Getting in. Definitely. I think that's the biggest hurdle that people have to overcome, because obviously everyone is looking for people with experience, even for like the graduate jobs. And I think that's probably the biggest. Yeah, you feel personally as if you're not there yet, because everyone says, oh, you need 2 years of experience, but I only have like a year's placement in a like traineeship. Is that enough? And I think maybe the games industry has to reform a little bit around this, that they maybe don't make these claims. When I was hiring for Creative Assembly, for example, I was trying to reduce the pressure on the applicants just to be able to see what they can do if they're not under pressure. Because often it feels like we put applicants under pressure and then, yeah, they obviously flap. They're like, oh gosh, I don't know what to do. Like there's all these things that are expected from me. So definitely getting, yeah, but they said a foot in the door, right, is extremely difficult. And if anyone wants to overcome this, I think the best advice I can give is search for a mentor. Look for someone in the industry who can help you, can explain you what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, can tell you best if you have a company you really like. Search for someone from that company, because they will know what they need right now. The titles might not be announced, but they know what kind of skills you need to work on those titles. And they are allowed to tell you that you need these skills to apply right now. So they can give you really good insight into what you need and what you maybe should advertise more. I had mentorships with someone who has worked as a graphics designer for very long. And he had really good graphics design skills, but he didn't feel like that was valid for the games industry. And I was like, no. You put these in your portfolio, please, because they're actually good. Like you can, that's your strength. And that's what you want to advertise. So yeah, I think lots of graduate students, but also people, as said, from other industries don't really know what their strengths are. And someone who is working in industry can really point them out and help you refine your portfolio and help you. I did lots of like example interviews with them, ask them difficult questions that people will ask you in interviews. And I think that's really useful. So look for mentors. There's different programs. You can Google them. I think Women in Games doesn't have an ambassadorship program, but if you come on a Discord channel and you ask the women, they will be, oh yeah, sure, I mentor you. Don't worry about it. Then there's UK also has Into Games, where I've been a mentor for a very long time. You can sign up on their website. They then connect you with a mentor that is in their database based on which discipline you want to do. And I know there's lots of other websites who do that as well. So yeah, join a community or just look on LinkedIn. Look on LinkedIn, Google mentor, like look LinkedIn mentor games industry, and usually people have it in their title and they will help you. Just ask them.
And same question for Mr. Hertu.
Yeah, almost the same. To find where you will fit, because there are really many places you can get into for game development, but you need to find where you will fit, because for me, I thought, how can I get into game industry, because we were talking about being publisher, or we were talking about create a indie team and make our own games, or we thought we can we are, you know, we were talking about many indie games and many game developers in our events, and we were talking about how to make business with them or how to get in the industry and be one of them. I even thought, yeah, my business skills are good and I can be a developer, but I need a game to develop that. So it was like it was just the luck for me. I mean, in the Indieway group, in the Indieway community, I see a team looking for a what to do in the industry, and they were looking for like we will create a company and we don't know what will be the next step. And I said, we already have a company, why don't we merge and we go on like that. I mean, they were making games, they had a plan to finish that game, but they had a gap on business development and marketing, so we just joined them. But for any other, if someone is looking for a job in the gaming companies, they really need to find the best gap they will fill, because there are many gaps in the companies. Sometimes you can find that gap even they don't know. You can say that your game is great, but I see that your that is missing, and I can feel that spot. You can go on like that as well, but it's really hard to get in, but you have to push and push and find where you will fit. If you are feeling a need, then they will ask you to fill that need. So basically that.
Yeah, and also, what would be the best advice to give a young woman who want to, like a short best advice that you come up in your mind to want to go into the gaming industry?
Be confident. That's it. Just be confident about your skills and yourself. If you think about it, I'm sure you already have a reason for it, and I'm sure you can be confident about your skills. You wouldn't wake up in the morning without any knowledge about games and be like, oh, I want to be in the games industry. That's very unlikely. So if you're already thinking about it, then you probably have a decent skill set, and just maybe you have to polish it a bit, but just be confident in yourself.
Yeah, I guess almost the same. Being confident is the key, because you have to know what you can do, and show people that. I mean, if you know that you can do something, for example, if you are confident about making game development. I mean, you learned some codes, maybe you learned Unity or Unreal. You just go and show them that you know these things, and you can say that I want to, but maybe you can say that I want to be intern, or I want to show you that I can learn fast. Or if you know already, for example, I met someone in Indieway who were actually how you say, architect, but passionate about games, and she started to create architectures for games, and she get into business. So it really depends on how you show yourself and how you get into business.
Exactly. And for like after I started my master's back in Istanbul, like I think more than half of the students were women. So I was like, oh, can you hear me? Okay. Half of the students were women. So I was like super happy about it. But like after I entered the industry, I didn't see those women working in the gaming companies. So also in here in Copenhagen, also there's a lot of women students in our games master, but I don't know about like gaming industry in Copenhagen yet that much. But what might be the cause of that?
Yeah, I think I've just read the recent census from Yuki. It's like a company that does like lots of game-related stuff, and they saw that the percentage of women has increased in the games industry, and now around, I think last year it was 30%, now it's 36 or something like that. So it's getting better, but I think, yeah, I had a friend who studied computer science, and he had also quite a large amount of women in his course, and they would drop out over time. And I think part of that might be that they just can't find their place. As I mentioned, that lots of the games community, I don't think it's actually the industry that is the problem here. I think it's still the community that plays games. How many times I've played Counter-Strike, and when I turned my microphone on, I would get some silly comments about why I'm not in the kitchen. That's like the casual, like, what young boys do, right? I don't think they are malicious. I think they think it's funny, and they don't realize that young women, however, might be affected by this. And obviously, if you want to get into the industry, you want to play lots of games because you're passionate about it. But if the community of these games meets you with hostility or makes fun of you for being part of the community, and you don't feel very welcomed, I think you're more likely to drop out because you feel like, oh, I don't really have a place here. This is not where I belong. So maybe they finish their games course and they feel really welcomed by the course because the professionals and the people who want to work in games are actually really welcoming. But then they meet the reality of the community who they have to make these games for, right? Whenever I make a game and I read Reddit afterwards, and I'm super excited to see that people are excited about it. But if you get the feeling that these people wouldn't appreciate you if they would know that you're a woman, that can be hurtful. I can definitely see that. So I think that might be the reason, and I hope that will change. It's getting better. It's getting better.
Mr.
can I again please take the question, because the next speaker was asking so many questions on the WhatsApp. I couldn't listen carefully. Can you
Yeah.
please repeat?
Yeah, of course. In the education programs, there are a lot of women who are studying games, game design, game development, but we can't see them in the industry that often, working in the industry that often. What do you think about this? And what might be the reason for it?
I guess maybe they find it difficult to get in the business because, for example, I have a friend who is a cartoonist, and she has good designs, and she really wants to get into business somehow, but it's really not easy to, you know, get into a new industry, because you don't know anyone, you don't have connections, and you don't know what to learn to make this happen. Because in the gaming industry, even you can create good designs, you have to do it digitally, not by your hand, and you have to use some specific programs. I mean, I advised her to try ZBrush, and she said, that program crashed my computer. Do you have any other program that you can recommend? I said, okay, maybe you try to change your computer, because this is a this industry needs better hardware to create good games. So you invest yourself, you invest yourself to get education, you invest yourself to go to events and learn what is hot topic and what is what games are more popular, because we are, at the end, we are doing this to earn money as well. We enjoy it, but we also yes, even the indie games want to sell their games, or at least they want more people to play their games. So we need to make better designs. We need to make better, even the how you say, cheapest computer can play that game. So you try to make I don't remember the word. More compact game to play, and at the end you have to invest your computer, invest yourself, and make network. And it's not easy to do it at first place, because for example, if you are an artist, you can show your works, and you can say that this is what I do. But in the gaming industry, you have to digitalize it, or you have to find the game that matches with your style. For example, you are making dark designs, but the gaming company wants to make something funny and cheerful, and it's really hard because of that, I believe. And if someone, I mean, if the woman doesn't really want to get into that business, it's hard for them to do that. Maybe they don't have the passion for games from the beginning, because not for us in Turkey, I believe in other countries as well, games were like more male thing. I mean, when you see when someone talks about games, I mean, I'm 40 plus, and people get shocked when I say I play games all the time, and I play MMOs. Even for the we were trying to sell exhibition for Gaming Istanbul. I went to make a meeting with Riot, and they literally asked me the details I played. They asked me, okay, so were you a healer? Which character you played, and they didn't believe that I'm a gamer. So maybe that's why if you don't play game, or if it was not seen nice to play games when you were a child, they don't think about making games. I mean, if you don't even play it, they don't think about making it. So maybe that's why even they are making good art, or even they are coder, even they are making marketing or business development or any other things that that has been needed in the gaming industry, they don't think about joining that, because they don't have a culture about playing games. Now the many people have that culture, because young women are more and more playing games, are enjoying it and being better in the games. So they are considering it. Why not? I can do one of these by myself. So I guess we will get there in time.
Yeah. So we have around 4 minutes left. Laura, if you want to add anything.
It was lovely to be here. I was quite excited, and yeah, I'm really happy. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for joining. It was really nice to meet you and have you in Indieway. Thanks again. And also thanks, Ms. Cevher.
Yeah, thank you, Laura, for joining and having that courage to join.
My pleasure.
See you around. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.